Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make a creamy rice pudding, what I think of as the ultimate in comfort food. And this is a really easy recipe to make, and it uses the most basic of ingredients, things like sugar and rice and milk, things that we normally have in our pantries. Now, while a lot of recipes bake the rice pudding in the oven, I prefer to do it on the stove. So to begin, we need about a medium-sized saucepan. And to the saucepan, add 2.5 cups, that's about 600 milliliters of milk. Now, you can use whole milk, or you could use a reduced fat milk. Just keep in mind that the fat content of the milk, if you use a whole milk, your rice pudding will be a lot more creamier than if you use, say, a 1%. But, I mean, the choice is yours. And try to use an organic if you can, because that has much better flavor. Now, so to the milk, I'm just going to add 1/3 cup, which is 80 milliliters of rice. Now, I like to use white rice, and you can use either a short grain or a long grain rice. I'm using a short grain today. And then just add a pinch of salt, about 1/8 teaspoon. I like to use a kosher salt. And that's it for now. So we're just going to put this on medium-high heat, and we're going to just bring it to a boil, just like what you would do when you make steamed rice. Just stir it to kind of mix it. And then, now you may think that only 1/3 cup of rice to 2.5 cups of milk, that seems like a lot, but keep in mind that the rice does expand as it cooks, and we do want some pudding, so we need quite a bit of milk to rice. So just bring this to a boil. Okay, so as you can see, the milk is starting to boil, so just turn your heat down to medium-low, just so the milk is simmering. And what we want to do is continue to cook the rice, and we're not going to cover the pan like you would, say, steamed rice. We're going to just cook this at a simmer until the rice is just tender. You don't want it mushy, you want it tender, or al dente as they say. And that will take about 25 minutes, depending on your heat. So adjust the heat to keep it at a simmer. And then stir it, you don't have to stir it constantly, but stir it every once in a while so the rice doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And you can use, like I have here, a heat-proof spatula, or you can just use a rubber spoon. So just continue to cook this and stir it every once in a while until it's tender. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes, and what I like to do is actually taste it to make sure that the rice is tender. Yeah, so what it has a little bit of a chew to it. It's not like mushy, still holds its shape. So that's what you want. So just remove it from the heat. And then I have 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar. It's about 50 grams. And I'm just going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon to that and stir it in. If you don't like cinnamon in your rice pudding, then just leave that out. But this is the way I've always eaten it. And I've made it without the cinnamon, and I always feel it's just lacking something. So let's just stir that in. So it's one of those things, my mother always made it with ground cinnamon, so I have to have it with that. But you can certainly leave it out. Okay, so now we're going to put it back on the heat, and again, just simmer it. Now we're going to simmer it for about 5 to 10 minutes, and all this we want is to just thicken up our rice pudding just a little bit. It's still a little runny right now, so about 5-10 minutes, and stir it quite often, just until it's thickened up a little. Okay, our rice pudding has thickened, so I'm going to remove it from the heat. So this is about what you're looking for. Now remember, this will continue to thicken as it cools. And now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Is it nice vanilla flavor, which is always good in rice pudding. And I always like raisins in my rice pudding. So I'm going to add about 1/4 cup, about 30 grams of dark raisins. You can use golden, or you could just leave it out if you don't like raisins. It's another one of those childhood things. So now this will make 2 large servings or 3 smaller. I always like a large bowl. And you can just, you want to let it cool a little. It's a little hot to serve. But, so you can see 2 pretty good sized soup bowls of rice pudding. Now I would let it cool a little, obviously. It's a little hot right now. If you want a film on the top, a skin as they call it, just let them cool like this. Personally, I don't like the skin, so I am going to cover it with some plastic wrap. You can serve these quite warm, room temperature, or even cold. You can serve them with a dollop of whipped cream if you'd like, or some jam on top. That's also very good. So until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com.